Everybody want to say goodnight to Doug now? Good night, buddy. You're the only guy I know that could wear that and look normal. You actually look like that's what you should be wearing all the time. So Doug borrowed his sister, I think it was Nan's Volkswagen Bug, right? Sounded like it had like a dozen gerbils under the hood. And he picked me up at my house, picked Bob up, and then we followed Jim Daly in his little Porsche. And we popped out on the 101 where Camp Road meets 101, and we started our ascent, which in the Bug seemed like we're climbing Mount Everest. It's about a 100-yard long hill. And we got about halfway up the hill, and I heard this sound behind us. And I looked out the back window, and it was an 18-wheeler bearing down on us. I mean, like, came right up on the tail of the Bug. And what I didn't know then, which I know now, is that the reason that he did that was because if he doesn't make it up the hill, he literally has to back down it, which in an 18-wheeler is not good. I'm assuming you didn't know that either since you hit the brakes and flipped him off. I literally could have stuck my head out the window and licked bugs off the grill of the truck. That's how close it was to the Bug. He stalled. Doug then punched it into second gear and took off going, you know that laugh that sounds like somebody's pressing the balls of a hyena in a dry cleaning press? I'm sure you've all heard it before. That's what he did. And I just remember thinking, I had known him for 3 or 4 years at that point. I remember looking at his demented face in the rearview mirror and thinking, he's not right. And I'm not right. And I'm looking at him thinking, this guy's off. So we went about 2 or 3 miles up the road, pulled into a mobile station to get the gerbils some food. And there it is. It's just a little sample. That literally, if you did that in the Congo, the hyenas would run. They'd leave whatever carcass they were feeding on and they would run for the hills. So Doug jumps out of the Bug, let's call it the bubble, it felt like a boy in a bubble, and started to pump gas into the Bug. I can't quite picture how everything went down at that point, but I heard a shriek. And I saw Doug run by the front of the Bug. I was just in the back seat with Bob, just chewing the fat. We're just rapping back there, and all of a sudden Doug ran by, and I was like, wasn't he pumping gas? And about 3 seconds later, this 350-pound dude in suspenders came around the side of the Bug after him. It was the guy driving the 18-wheeler. He pulled over to the breakdown lane on 101. I don't know how he picked us out in the beige Volkswagen Bug. And they did 4 or 5 laps around the Bug. And Doug just took off like a rocket into the mobile station bathroom and locked the door. And Jim Daly somehow talked this guy into calming down, and Bob and I are just in the truck, in the Bug like this, just watching the whole thing. Jim Daly calmed this guy down, he jumped in his truck, and he drove away. And he was furious with me for not getting out and helping. And I'm thinking, are you freaking nuts? You almost got me killed. And if I could have beamed myself to the moon right, I weighed about 130 pounds. And I'm going to jump out of the Bug to help him. I wanted to, I really did, but I'm sorry. I felt like a boy in a bubble just watching this whole thing go down. And I think it was at that point that I realized, as I've said many times, he's not right. We all know that. And with that said, Shelley is going to come up and give you 10 examples of why he's not right.
He has a very manly business, a landscaping business. But we're going to top 10 reasons for a woman to want to hang out with Doug Thomson. So, late night, here we go. Number 10, you can both share something fruity at the bar. Number 9, no need to hire a personal trainer. They'll have you walking 6 miles for coffee, biking 10 miles a day, skipping up hills, all the insanity you will need. Okay, number 8, he's fully housebroken. Grocery shopping, cooking, dishes, laundry, he'll do it all. Number 7, he definitely won't show you up on the dance floor. Number 6, intimate apparel, he may even have your size. Number 5, no need to worry about him making the moves during a movie. He'll be comatose 2 minutes. Number 4, you'll never feel the need to wax. Jen will elaborate on that later in the evening. Number 3, Barry Manilow concert, you bet, might even get VIP seating. Number 2, all the vibrating tools a girl can imagine. And the number one reason that a woman would want to hang with Doug Thomson, he may even share the secret to his satisfying sneezes. I don't know, some of you may not get that one, but who told me the secret?
How you doing? You all right?
I'm good, yeah.
You had the drink?
No, I'm good.
Got a Jello shot. How's that sound? You're a pusher. We're going to, I haven't heard all of the bits that are about to come up. Kill for that hair right now. I want to preface some of the next speakers by saying, if anybody is offended, Mark, I don't know what you're going to say, but I know what Danny's going to say. If anybody's offended by vulgar language, this is where things are going to take a turn for the worse, I think. So you may want to leave the room. Mark Maniscalchi, an old friend from high school and from the neighborhood, is going to come up and say a word.